to take that chance. Things have been different for me ever since I met Hildy. I've never met anyone quite like her before.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a tour of the finished build, just the exterior though. Only the exterior is finished. I haven't done the interior, but that'll be in a part 2. But I built it on this lot in Brindleton Bay, the 64 by 64 lot, because I needed all the room I could get. And just the exterior costs 200,000 simoleons, so that's a lot. And it's not even completely finished, so it's gonna be even more. Okay, so here is the finished project. It's kind of surreal because of how long I've been working on this, but like I'm really happy that I finally finished the exterior and now I get to have fun with the interiors. But you'll see I didn't record me making this center piece because, you know, I just figured I would include it in at the end. In the book, it's described as like a commons area with Greek statues, fountains, flower beds, and a couple basketball hoops. And so I tried to use my imagination on what that would look like. And then I also added some seating areas, and then there's also described to be a big fireplace in the middle. So I also added that. And I did this pathway all along connecting to each cabin. I didn't have like room to build like a bathroom building, but in case your computer is strong enough to power this, then there actually is a little bathroom hidden over here, so you could play on it. Okay, so here is Zeus's cabin, or I guess it's really more of a huge building than a cabin. A cabin seems like an understatement. But yeah, just a lot of neat landscaping around these little light thingies that kind of look like lightning bolts. And this one's very, I mean, it was my first one. When I built it, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I am happy with how it turns out. And this door actually does work, so you're able to go inside. And then, of course, Hera's cabin. Again, I'm also happy with this. We kind of have some neat landscaping on the sides, but it's a bit more plants here. Lots of flowers. It's a similar thing on the back, just a bit messier, I guess, than Zeus's, but still pretty orderly. And they're described as like matching, like his and hers, but I tried to make them a little bit different while still looking like, you know, they belong together. Okay, Poseidon cabin. This one I had to take a lot of creative liberty just because the inside, I think, is described more than the outside, but I tried to make it look sort of beach housey, and I put it on water, which is not at all described in the book, but I just thought it would be a cool addition. And we got some water pipes in the back, just some stuff here and there. And, you know, I'm really happy with how it looks. It actually looks pretty cozy. Like, Zeus and Hera's do not, because they look like museums, but or banks, but yeah, this one looks pretty cozy, very beach housey. Very happy with it. I'm excited to do the inside of that one. And over here we have Demeter's cabin, which was one of my favorites to do. It's just so overgrown, and I put all these plants and planter boxes in the front, and I filled up the roof to make it look kind of like grass. And this is also not described in the books, but I thought it would be a good use of this space to add like a garden, like they could plant stuff here. And then I really like this these monkey bars with the plants growing on them. That's really cool. Just a lot of overgrown plants everywhere, and that's like one of my favorite things to do with houses is just make them look super overgrown. Lots of plants everywhere, and I'm really happy with this one. I really like the shape. It has a unique shape to it, and I'm really happy, you know, with it, but like obviously it has more room than all these other ones, so it kind of gets to be like bigger with its own unique shape, but I think it looks pretty cool. Okay, Ares' cabin. This one actually was a lot of fun to do. This is like my favorite part. Like the little, you can't actually walk through here. I was worried with this piece you might not be able to, but I did test it. I'd like to imagine like the Ares kids were fighting and they like pushed over the fence, and that's why it's like that. I don't know, just the little details. And then punching bags, bunch of sports equipment, the paint, because in the book it's described like the cabin is like messily painted, lots of overgrown landscaping, just plants everywhere, because they probably wouldn't take like good care of the plants, like they would just let it grow probably. It's just grass, like grass everywhere. And I thought the cactuses were a cute addition, like, you know, they're spiky and like it kind of fits with how the Ares kids are. And then obviously this barbed wire, I wish it was like more of the barbed wire at the top and less of this fence stuff, but I think it still works. Obviously the little flags at the top, red for Ares, like this one's pretty fun. And then we have the complete opposite, like super neat, super gray, very symmetrical mostly, is the Athena cabin. And this one, I struggled with it a lot. You'll see I got rid of the overhang thing just because it looked too similar to Aphrodite's cabin. But like, I don't know, there just wasn't much for it, like description wise, and it's like a gray building, it has curtains, but you know, I tried to do what I could, and I'm excited to do the inside because it's like a bunch of books and workbenches and stuff, and I think that's going to be super fun. But the outside is just okay. Like, I didn't really add much landscaping. Like, it's very plain, which is, you know, I feel like that's fitting. I feel like the inside's going to be like super messy, but you know, I mean, it's nice. It's very nice. Like, that seems like a very nice house to live in. Now, I'd say this is a pretty big jump, but here we have the Apollo cabin. It's so gold, so extra, and this one I struggled with so much at the beginning, but how it turned out, I'm like so happy with it. There's just so much going on, and I like that when houses have a lot going on. And then we have like this little back porch, bunch of gold, even more, and then like all these sitting areas. I just really like how much gold there is in this one, and it really stands out, which is a good thing because it's supposed to like stand out and be like super bright gold that it hurts to look at. And obviously I put little sunflowers as like in the front as like a nod to, you know, how Apollo's the god of the sun, and there's the little sun there. And then Artemis's cabin. I really like this landscaping here. I mean, this looks kind of silly, but I wanted to include it because, you know, her whole animal, like her main animal is a deer, and I just thought that would be, you know, a good addition to it. And then I added all these sculptures in here to kind of look like they're animals in the yard a bit. And I did a lot of messy landscaping to make it sort of look like woods or like wilderness and stuff like that. And it's cute, and I like the little stars because Apollo has those too, and it's sort of like to show that, you know, they're siblings, but they're a bit different, obviously. But yeah, I like this one. I like the shape. Again, it's a unique shape, but it's pretty cool. Okay, this was one of my favorites to do just because of how different it was. Like, at this point, I was really tired of building, like, cabin after cabin, that I wanted to do something different, and this was, like, the perfect opportunity for that. Just, like, it's completely different. Like, when you look at all of them, it's like, man, that one is super different. But, this one was super fun to do. I really like the smokestacks and the crane, like, that's just fun. I mean, I don't think they have a way to even get up to that crane, or what would they even use it for, because it's right here. But yeah, my favorite part though is this back section with the garage. That's just like super fun. I don't think that's described in the book, but I just added that because I thought, you know, they would definitely have that, and I just really like the industrial look. Like, it's very fun. And then obviously, like, this bigger garage over here, and a bunch of pipes and stuff. I couldn't find any gears. There's, like, supposed to be, like, gears near the front door, but yeah, I added a bunch of pipes instead. And a fire hydrant in case they set the building on fire. Okay, here is the Aphrodite cabin. This one had such an interesting description. Like, it's, like, gray walls, and then blue roof and checkerboard floor, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And also, it's the third gray building in a row. These are all gray, and I was just like, that's so boring. But at least I tried to make it a bit more extra, and then also like stand out with all the pink accents. And this landscaping is probably my favorite part. I just love like how neat it looks, but also it has like those pink flowers, and I feel like that's so fitting. And I added these little pink lights and some pink chairs, just pink accents everywhere. And this landscaping is just, I like how neat it looks in comparison to Artemis's. But yeah, this one, it's definitely interesting looking. Hopefully, like, the description is super weird, but hopefully I made it look at least decent. But yeah, this one's really cute. I mean, it honestly looks pretty cool. Like, the checkerboard floor is kind of cool. I like that. But yeah, here's Aphrodite's cabin. Okay, and then we have Hermes' cabin. You know, this is where I try to make it kind of small, I guess, because this is where they like pack all of the kids in, and there's like not enough room for all of them. I just try to make it really overgrown, like super, like, look kind of old and weathered a bit, super overgrown with a bunch of ivy and stuff. Then like these poorly made chairs and just a bunch of clutter. And it's relatively simple, especially in comparison to the other ones. Like, it's just sort of a cabin, but you know, I like how it turned out with this overgrown sort of look. And then the last cabin is Dionysus's cabin. So this one was a huge pain in the butt because I had to individually place all of these grapes, and they're from debug, so I had to like one at a time place them because I can't duplicate them. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really like this like little garland up here. I added the grapes over that because they're not, those grapes weren't there. I added those over, so it kind of like looks like the grapes are supposed to be there. But I really like this, like, I try to add a lot of purple accents, like with the flowers and obviously with the grapes. And I have these little planter boxes out front and all that jazz. And then I added like so much ivy. Like, this ivy is my best friend. I've used it so many times in this build. And then I added these like trellises, and I just added grapes everywhere. And these more purple pinkish flowers, planter boxes. And then the same thing on this side. And I didn't add much like of this type of landscaping, like with a bunch of plants, because there's already so much on the walls that I figured, you know, that kind of makes up for it not having much on the ground. These are all the cabin exteriors done. I hope you like them. If you have anything like maybe that I missed or that you think I should add, like, feel free. Oh, and then I also added this little area over here because I didn't know what to do with it, so I just added like games and like monkey bars and like sitting areas and obviously the toilet, the turlet. Anyways, just let me know if there's anything you think I missed or anything that you think I should add, and there will be a part 2 for the interior, so don't worry. But yeah, this is the exteriors for Camp Half-Blood, and I'm super happy with it. It took forever, but I'm glad it's done.